So, hello again. This afternoon now, back in the car. Just time to talk about the state of play for the rest of the season. Obviously now we're dragged back into the relegation battle. I've seen a lot of people online quick to change their minds after the Southampton game. Obviously it was a fantastic team performance. Both attacking in the first half and defending in the second half, 9 men against 11. Fantastic. Now saying, now we've fucked it up, blah 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 blah. Right, let's have it right. We were never going to beat Chelsea. It was always going to be a steep task going to Stamford Bridge against a team, like I said, it's got that new manager bounce. They look organised. They got the crux of it is they've got better players than us. And until that's always going to be the case unless we get taken over and there's major investment, we're never going to be able to compete with them consistently. Obviously we've beaten Chelsea in the last few years at certain points, but it's always been like, Chelsea have had an off day or we've had to play out of our skins to do it. So you can't say that Chelsea game has had a major effect on us being into a relegation battle, because the damage has already been done long before that. However, I just thought it was a pertinent time to sort of review it, because Fulham now, our main relegation rivals, if you like, they're in 18th place. At the minute we are 7 points ahead of them. Now Fulham, I think they have one game in hand. They play twice now before we play our next game against Manchester United. So it's looking difficult. You look at the three major injuries we suffered in the last game against Southampton. Obviously Fabian Schär has been playing pretty well at centre back. Defensive crisis. Javier Manquillo, after the Burnley game earlier on in the season, I thought Emil Kraft was our best player in the back four, but it is Javier Manquillo. Defensively, I think he's either just below Kraft or on par with Kraft. However, attacking wise, okay, he doesn't score goals, he doesn't get assists, but his crossing has improved. His crossing was better against Everton, but the key for me is he gets himself in these correct attacking positions. So the camera, I got the sun in the camera, but yeah, he gets himself in good attacking positions. He's an outlet. He provides an outlet. He provides numerous times. Yesterday I saw Alan Saint-Maximin getting the ball on the left hand side, dribble past one or two players, and he's looking to let off on the right wing, where obviously Manquillo would usually be, pushing up to provide an outlet. I'm not saying that Kraft should have pushed up, got the ball, done a 1-2 with Joe Willock and then fly down the wing again. But if he got the ball in that right wing position, he could lay it off and then we can push forward a little from there. It just gives an option, but instead ASM sort of had to double back into midfield, and then the chance, the attacking impetus was gone. So obviously we're going to miss Manquillo, miss Schär. The big one is obviously Callum Wilson, who's going to score our goals. And like I said in my pre-game team selection video yesterday, Dwight Gale's more than capable. Like I said, he scored goals Bournemouth, Villa and Liverpool towards the back end of last season, after hardly playing for the whole season. So I just said in my morning after show earlier on today that he's more than capable of scoring those goals, and it's good that he got some minutes under his belt. Where's the service going to come from? Now, Dwight Gale's shown that in the air he's capable. Go back to the West Brom game, that fantastic ball in that was put in by Jacob Murphy. He's capable of being a threat in the air. However, I think we're going to need to feed him in more. You look back to the Championship season 4 years ago now, and John Joe Shelvey struck up a good partnership with him. He could find him. So if we can get Shelvey on the ball more, that might be an option. Andy Carroll, I am, like most Newcastle fans, nostalgic when you talk about Andy Carroll. I think my heart says he can still do a job, he can still score a few goals. Alright, he scored that nice volley against Leicester, but let's be honest, I think he finished at this level. I hope you prove me wrong, Andy, I really, really do. But it is what it is. So, we're well up against it now. Like I say, Fulham. I think Fulham play Burnley next. Do we want? We sort of want Burnley to win, to push Fulham back, or to keep them where they are. But a draw would probably suit us, because it would stop Burnley pulling further away from us. So for Fulham, probably a draw against Burnley and then a loss in the second game. I can't remember who it is. I've got a feeling it's someone like Brighton or Wolves. Fulham are starting to click into form. They beat Everton. Okay, by all accounts, from what I've heard and seen, Everton were not great against Fulham, and Fulham did play very, very well. But yeah, I do apologise for the video. It's probably just going to be an audio one because of the sun, but I just thought I'd get this off my chest. Yeah, like I said, we've got some winnable, what you could call more winnable games coming up. But then that run of 6 games at the end of the season, like I said, I think we've got Sheffield in our third to last game, which you'd think they're going to be well adrift by then. But then again, does that make them weaker? Does that make them more dangerous? For them to be well adrift, you're probably going to think, oh, they'll probably mathematically already be down, so they're going to be in, for that to happen, they're going to be in a poor run of form. But then again, if they're already down, you could say they've got nothing to lose. They've got nothing to lose. They're just playing for pride, playing for the, well, I say playing for the fan, you know, playing for the club, playing for the fans watching at home. So that could work against us. But like I said, Arsenal, Liverpool, City, Leicester, horrendous. I remember seeing Fulham as our last game of the season. I remember I said that a few months ago. I thought, I hope that doesn't come down to it. And it's looking like it will. And, you know, if you wind the clock back to our 1-1 draw with Fulham at home, you could say there's been worse performances. I look at Sheffield, I look at Brentford in the Cup. But that one for Fulham, for me, was one of the most disappointing, because we were at home against a team really, really struggling towards the bottom of the league. We were crap. We were pedestrian. We looked like the away team trying to cling to a 0-0, which is St James's Park against anyone. Maybe against an on-song Liverpool or on-song City, you could sort of justify that. But against a Fulham team who was struggling towards the bottom of the league is unacceptable. And it was the fact that we got lucky with that penalty. We got so lucky with that sending off. And then again, we were devoid of ideas, of any craft, of any attacking options, any creativity. And again, we just not sat back, but Fulham went behind. Oh, sorry, Fulham drew level. After we drew level, I do apologise. Fulham, you know, they had a man sent off. They just conceded the goal, and they got straight back on us, like the home team. So if we play anything like that at Craven Cottage, the way they're playing, I know obviously it's a while yet until the end of the season, but they could turn us over. I've seen a lot of people think, oh yeah, we should have enough, and I got a mate who's a West Ham fan, who I'm going to do a video sort of that I would for him in a bit, or later on, maybe tonight. And he's like, oh, I think you'll just have enough. And you think, just have enough? You know, that 7 points is not a big buffer. And like I said, if Fulham pick up in that 6-game period towards the end of the season, Fulham, I think, will be close to us by then anyway. If they pick up 2-3 wins, and we're losing against City, losing against Liverpool, losing against Arsenal, losing against Leicester, hopefully get a win against Sheffield, by the end of the season, that game could be do or die, or it might be too late by then. It could be too late by then, and it really, really worries me. The manager wise, I can't see Bruce leaving now, because alright, we haven't dropped into the bottom 3 yet, but apart from dropping into the bottom 3, it couldn't get much worse than it has been at times this season. You know, we went on that streak of losing games, playing rubbish. The fact that Mike Ashley's brought in Graham Jones to help out, and he has improved things. You know, we beat Southampton in a gutsy performance, we beat Everton in a great performance, but then we were not rubbish against Palace, we were slow against Palace, and last night was a bit of a freebie because we weren't expected to win. The games coming up we can target. I think you've got to look at Wolves, you've got a Villa, maybe. You've then got to look at Sheffield and obviously Fulham at the end. Just trying to think. Liverpool. By the time we play Liverpool, I suspect they would have found their form. I'm just trying to think. We've already obviously got Sheffield coming up. We got to play West Brom coming up. That will be a big game. We need to, when we play, we need to be looking at 9 points out of 9. Sheffield, Brom, and Fulham. Now I think we sit on. Are we on 25 points now? So that 9 points obviously takes us up to 34. I don't think that's going to be enough. So if we look to win those games and then maybe nick something at Wolves, nick something at Villa, something might happen. I'm just trying to think who we got to play. I think we got to play West Ham again. They're absolutely flying. I was speaking to my mate, like I said, West Ham fan. I'm so jealous of this team because, all right, they've invested heavily in the last few years, but they've got a manager who knows what he's doing. They've got a manager who's ambitious. The players look good. They look up for it. They look organised. They brought in the right people. Jesse Lingard's galvanised them again. You know, they're pushing for top 4. I think West Ham will finish in a Europa League spot, maybe just outside, because you think City look like they're going to win the league. Then you've got I would hazard a guess that United would be second, maybe Chelsea or Leicester. I would say Leicester third. Let's go for, just hypothetically, Liverpool 4th, Chelsea 5th. You've then got Everton, Villa, West Ham, Tottenham, all looking for that 6th place. But yeah, the fact of the matter is West Ham's going to be a very, very, very tough game. We've done alright in recent years against West Ham. Obviously, we beat them the opening game of the season last season. I think we managed to get a draw at them at home the season before. I think we beat them. We've beaten them a few times, so it could happen. But this is a much better West Ham team than we've played in the past 3 or 4 years. It's going to be very, very difficult. I do apologise again for this video. I'm just looking at it now. I'm in and out of the sun all the time, but I'm just thinking, is it too late to change the manager? Is it too late? Possibly. The time to change the manager was, and I've got nothing personal against Steve Bruce. Some of his decision making has been absolutely atrocious. It's been confusing, mind-boggling. What is he thinking? Behind playing certain players and playing players out of position and formations and whatnot. Like I said, I've got nothing personal against him. He obviously, he's trying. He's resilient because he hasn't packed it in yet. A lot of people saying he should resign. Maybe they were right, but you have to respect his resilience. That he's either too stupid to let it go, and he doesn't want the shame of giving up, or he is just that hard and that resilient, and he does believe that he can do something. The time, if you were going to get rid of him, the time to get rid of him, I would say, would have been after the Brentford game, because that was atrocious, and then Sheffield. But those days are gone. Would bringing in the manager now change things? Possibly, but that time's running out. Obviously, remember with Rafa, we brought him in with only not a few games, but there weren't many games left. So if you're going to bring in the manager, a new manager, I think it needs to be now. But that's, like I said, that shouldn't be a knee-jerk reaction to the Chelsea game, because that was always going to be, we were always looking down the barrel. A loss there. We shall see. And we've got some tough games coming up. Like I said, Man United, Wolves, Villa, then I think it's West Brom. Jesus Christ. My head tells me that we've had it, and because I'm looking at it logically, looking at those games, like I said, we're not going to beat Manchester United. Villa creamed us easily at Villa Park. They didn't even have to get out of second gear. Jack Grealish, although I think he's a bit of a dick for saying to, just keep the ball moving, these are shite. Lack of respect, but he's right, we were crap. So Villa are a better team than us. I think Wolves are a better team than us. We can beat West Brom, but then again, they're still fighting. Oh my God. Then obviously, like I said, Leicester, Liverpool, Arsenal, City. Wow. The only thing with the City game is you hope that they go on a massive tear up, and that you hope the league will already be won, so they take their foot off the gas a little bit. Obviously, I'm sure Pep wouldn't let that happen, but it showed last year with Liverpool. It's going to happen at some point. You know, you can't keep that intensity up when the job's done. But yeah, so hopefully we look ahead. I think we got Man U Saturday or Sunday. So yeah, we look ahead to that game. United are a much better team than us. They're a much better team than the team that creamed us 4-1 at St James's Park. However, they've tripped up obviously against Everton. They've tripped up against West Brom. So it's possible. It is possible. Where are the goals going to come from? I've been saying online, I've said to a few of my mates, we need ASM to step up. We need him to step up. Obviously, he's not 100% fit yet. That's why he came off the pitch yesterday. But we need ASM to step up, because Dwight Gale might get on the end of a few crosses, a few balls in, but we need someone to create as well. And John Joe Shelby's not doing it. Callum Wilson did so much up front to facilitate that creativity. Jesus. Yeah, we need. Obviously, Miggy scored twice last week, so you can't really say, oh, we need him to step up more, because he scored a few goals. But if he can carry on scoring, if ASM can put in a few man-of-match performances, get some assists, get him scoring goals, because has he scored yet this season? Apart from, yes, I think he's got one goal against Burnley. I know he's out for a while, but you know, where a lot of people sort of eulogise about him, saying he's this, he's that, but there's not a lot of end product, especially at the moment. So for ASM to justify that tag of being our best player, let's have a few more goals, please, buddy. Oh my God, it's going to be hard. Those 3 injuries didn't help. Did not help. Because if Callum Wilson was still fit and firing, you'd look at Wolves, you think, yeah, okay. You look at Villa, you think, you never know. You look at Man U, you think you never know. You think, you know, if Man U slip up, or if we get, you know, a good set piece delivery, you know, or Harry Maguire has an off day, or even David De Gea does an off day, you think Callum Wilson's going to be in those positions. He's going to hit a decent enough strike to maybe score, but I don't know. I'm really worried. Really worried. I like to look at the positives, but like I said, in my head I think we've had it. But I don't sound soppy, but my heart tells me that we can do this. We can do this, but there's no progress, is there? You know, this time last season, we didn't look a very, very good team, but we weren't in a relegation fight. Season before that, you know, first season back, finishing 10th. Oh God, what I would give to finish 10th now, what I would give to finish 13th, what I would give to guarantee finish 17th, because it's not guaranteed. Another thing, I just saw someone on Twitter has said that there's reports of some, I don't know where it was, some airport, I think it was in the Middle East, Mike Ashley's private jet, along with the private jet of the Reuben brothers, at the same place. Now, that cannot be a coincidence, can it? Hopefully that can be pushed over the line quick enough. Obviously it's too late now in terms of getting the right personnel in to save us. But I just think if the takeover was completed now, even without the fans in the ground, the positivity would lift. Steve Bruce, I think, would know that, you know, his days are numbered, but some of the positivity would lift. You know, some players must think, oh yeah, next season we're going to get good investment, things are going to change. But then again, the promise of change next season, it shouldn't be necessary for the players to put 100% effort now. Oh, stand by for further.